You have this quote in the book from Lacan where he says, "It would not be man's being if it did not bear madness within itself as the limit of this freedom." And I just want to get your opinion on whether or not the madness that Lacan's talking about here is the psychotic experience directly. Is this the source of the madness, so to speak?
Well, that's exactly how I read it in the book, because, well, there's lots of things to say about that quote, but in Why Psychosis is Not So Crazy, I link it to the status of the drive for the human being. And what is the drive? Well, it's the impulse that is biologically grounded, that lives in us. But the thing is that there is no inherent knowledge in us. We lack knowledge to deal with something of the impulse that is there. And so therefore, this offers a possibility of freedom for the human being. It's open-ended, the drive. We don't know what to do with it, so that's on the one hand very anxiety provoking because we don't know what to do with it, but on the other hand, it gives liberty to the human being. This liberty, neurosis is the limiting of that liberty, because it's by believing in symbolic systems and by accepting limitations and accepting guidelines of how to deal with the freedom that we kind of try to limit it and to make it livable, that freedom. So in that respect, the neurotic is not free. And that's usually it's exactly what the neurotic is saying to us. Like, I want to do this, but I don't manage reaching it because I also want to do that. But they don't do what they want to do. So their freedom is limited and they suffer from it. And here, of course, the idea is when there is this basic foreclosure, as Lacan would say, meaning that the symbolic is not entirely functioning, this actually opens again a space of freedom, a space where an invention is possible, where something new that is not just repetition of what is already there, because neurosis, that's repetition of what mom and daddy already said to you in a slight variation. So it's reproducing the culture, the neurotic strategy, whilst the psychotic strategy is that possibility of inventing new things out of nothing. And therefore, it's it's an exercise in freedom. And therefore, I think Lacan will also stress that in that sense, psychosis or madness is not inferior